Hello, Brad Phillips here with Puppy Steps Training, and we're going to be doing Millie's demonstration for you this morning. We're real excited to send her to you. Millie's just absolutely one of my favorite dogs. I really love her. I think she's got a phenomenal personality, just really easygoing, real happy, will go out and play and loves to play with the other dogs, but when she's inside she's pretty low-key. Just likes to hang out and be pet and just pretty mellow that way. At the same time, that also does make it difficult because she would much rather just lounge around versus do a lot of things, and so hopefully she'll be energized and do some stuff for you first thing this morning. I'm also going to apologize up front. I do have my kids with me today doing this video, and so hopefully they'll be quiet, but if you do hear a little interruption, they're just up in the loft trying to distract Millie. But this demonstration is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to go into detail as much with all the little things. Instead, I'm just going to try and show you what she knows. I will, of course, explain a few things, but for the most part, I just want to show you that she's doing really well, and she's doing everything very proficiently. But, like I said, I won't go into detail with the socialization and some of those other talking points. So instead, we're just going to get her right out. Of course, going into our manners. Our first manner is when I let her out of the crate, she is expected to stay. Okay, good girl, good girl, good girl. And I'm going to snap this leash on her. And she might need to go to the bathroom first thing. We'll kind of pay attention to that. But of course the next manner, come here, Millie, is before I give her any attention when I call her to me, come here. Is I do expect her to sit, and so I'm going to wait for that. Come here. There you go. And if she doesn't immediately offer it, I'm going to step into her, and once again, I'm not going to give her any attention though until she does sit. Like I said, you will notice when you get her home, she's pretty low-key, just kind of does things at her own pace. She is very good, very obedient, but she's also pretty mellow. Oh, good girl. So the next thing we'll show you is her meal. Anytime I feed her, I expect her to hold a sit stay. And so I'll ask her to sit and tell her to stay. Okay, good girl. And we'll let her eat there for a second. She did already have breakfast, so she might not be too hungry. And she turns it away. I'm just going to take it away. And so, of course, we have worked a lot on her other manners like jumping. She does know the command off, and that's whether she jumps up on me or tries to jump up on a couch or on a crate or anything like that. We tell her off, and she's been really good about listening and getting right down. Also, chewing. She's about done with her teething, but chewing is still one of those behaviors. Of course, try and avoid giving her free access to things you don't want chewed up. And then, if she does start chewing on something she's not supposed to, replace that. Take it away, tell her no, give her something she is allowed to chew on. We've also just made sure that she's not going to be aggressive, especially towards us or to our kids. And she's done really well with that. She will stand her ground with other dogs if they try and take something from her. And so that's something to be aware of with your older dogs. And they have to go through that interaction. They have to understand where they're going to be in your family pack. So, good girl. Hopefully we'll be able to wake her up here. Maybe see if we can get her playing. Yeah, there you go. We have taught her to drop things on command. She'll bring it back. And she does love to play, and so we spend a lot of time on that command. And I can just ask her to drop it. A lot of times she'll just drop it before she gets to you. Okay, come on. Come on. She's just going to be too lazy for me today, huh? Instead, maybe we'll give her a bully stick, and I'll show you that if she has something, once again, I can just ask her to drop it, and she'll just let me have it. she's really good with that command, has no problem me taking things from her, as well as just physically releasing it when asked. Drop it. Good girl. We've also taught her to be very gentle with her mouth, and so I can just tell her gently and expect her to be very cautious. So besides that, we'll kind of hop right into our obedience commands, run through those real quick. Like I said, this is going to be a pretty quick demo, just not having to really go into detail on everything because you've heard it and you have other dogs. And so our first commands, the first two, of course, are those most basic, watch me and come. And so the first one, I can just lead with her name and, Millie, come! Okay, good girl, good girl. It is hard to show in here, just lacking in space, but that's been a command that we've spent a lot of extra time on. Just because she was one that liked to do a lap or think it was funny if we would chase her, and so we spent a lot of time on come, a lot of time outside with heavy distractions working on that, and I am very, very pleased with where she is. But that's also a command to spend a lot of extra time working on. Put her on a long lead and work on that first. Let her branch out and explore, and then every few minutes call her to you. If she doesn't, you can reel her in. When she does get to you, give her a treat, let her go again. Just keep that very positive. So, good girl. And of course, the second of those two basic commands is just to get her eye contact. And so, watch me. Okay, good girl. Just looking for eye contact. And we treat her name the same way. Oh, good girl. Good girl. And then your next three commands, or four commands, I do have 3 hand signals. And so the first one, come here. Come here, come on. Yeah. Come on. And so the first one is sit. Millie, sit. And it's just scoop over the nose. And then down, I can just take her down. Stay. Of course, everything's going to be in slow motion this morning. Okay, good girl. Good girl. And then we'll get her over here. Come here. Come here. Yeah, come on. Spin her around and then ask her to sit. Stay. Okay, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. And then the next two don't have hand signals, but I will put myself in a position where she can read my body language. And so where she's right here, I'll tell her, Millie, crate. Usually she's not quite this mellow. Usually she'll at least do some stuff. Huh. Come on. So we're going to lift her up. Come on. Crate. Okay, good girl. Okay, good girl. Go to bed. Millie, go to bed. Good girl. Good girl. And then the last one is leave it. And I should be able to, wish she was laying the other way so you could see this, but I can put a treat on her paw. Okay. Leave it. No, leave it. No, leave it. No. Okay, good girl. Okay. That's a command that we've started doing, and of course we use it a lot more on walks, just making sure that she's going to leave, whether it's, we get a lot of horses that travel up and down this road, and so horse manure or roadkill, things of that sort. So good one to do. I can show you that outside when we go out there. I'll show you a handful of these commands because hopefully just being outside will give her a little bit of energy. Like I said, usually she's not quite this low key, but she is pretty mellow, easygoing. But anyway, with that, we'll just briefly talk about her crate training. And so spend a lot of time on the crate, making sure that she's comfortable in there. She's very good in the crate. She'll sleep through the night without needing breaks or accidents. As well as she's good for 4 hours during the day. Right now we're putting her to bed at 10 p.m. and then getting her out around 6:30. We're also feeding her generally right after we get her out and let her use the bathroom, and then of course feeding her at about 6 in the evening, and that way she has that 4 hours to clear her system. And like I said, she's done really well with that, and so you can put her in the crate and have no worries that she's just going to hang out and be good. Also, as you get her home, I would limit her water a little bit. Make sure that you take that away by about 7 p.m. That way, she's already going to have to go to the bathroom more frequently because of the transition. You might as well not make it worse by letting her just drink a whole bunch of water right before bed, as well as while you're introducing the bell. And so I would give her water, multiple times throughout the day, but like 4 or 5 times throughout the day. Unless she's outside quite a bit, then I would give her unlimited access. So the next part is her house training, and so we spent a lot of time on that, of course, as well. And she will hold it forever. A lot of times she'll outlast us in the barn. The other day, between crate training, house training, and then just being worked with on and off, before she finally rang the bell was like 7 hours. However, just because she can make it that long, as you introduce her into your house, I wouldn't let her go that long. Shh, buddy. I would keep it to 2 hours. I wouldn't go over that. And I'll go over just how to teach her ringing the bell. Hopefully you guys remember that from before. But I would start by allowing her to ring the bell as I hold it in front of her, where she's kind of this mellow. Right now I'm just going to skip that spot and go straight to the door. And so if you do need a reminder of that, just let me know, and I can send you a time frame of another video with another dog, just how to introduce that. But when we're going straight to the door, and so this would be like if your timer went off, and I would set it, every 30 minutes or so for the first day, and I would take her over to the door. Come here. And I'm just going to stare at the bells. Okay, good girl. And I'll let her ring it a handful of times, gradually asking her to increase the volume. Okay, good girl. Okay, outside, good girl. And then changing my wording up as we go. Okay, outside. Okay, outside, good girl. We'll let her get one more really good ring out of it. Okay, good girl, outside. And I'm going to take her out. And of course she was expected to wait at the doorway. Okay. Okay. Now if I was doing this at your house, I would turn around, have her ring the bell a couple more times, and then go back outside. Just making sure that she's getting plenty of repetitions at the door. That way she's seeing where the bells are at. She's also understanding that it means to go outside and go to the bathroom. And then every 30 minutes, I would get her up, take her to the bell, let her ring it, take her outside again. And I would do that for the first day or two, and then gradually start to increase that time and work it up to 2 hours, which is our standard. Hold on, I'm almost done. Sorry about that. And then, like I said, gradually increase to 2 hours. And then you can see where she's at, gauge where she's at, and continue to build up. And make sure, though, it's very important that you do give her 100% supervision, that she doesn't have just unlimited access to your house, and that way she's not going to get lost or get stressed out and then have an accident. Like I said, if you do have any questions on that, please give me a call, as well as you can check those other demos, which are more in detail. Just where you guys have had a dog, I figured I'd keep this one short and sweet for you. Plus you have all the other resources. So let me know if you have any questions. If not, we'll move into our leash work. We have taken her on those two types of walks. The first one just being for her to be a dog until she's really good at coming back to us. We keep her on a long lead, but she has been doing really well, so we have let her off leash. And when we take her on that type of walk, whether we're in the mountains or down by the river, just every minute or two I'm working on that come command, calling her to me, giving her a treat, and letting her go again. So we're really focusing on that come, as well as it's enjoyable to her. She's getting to explore and run around, but she's also getting a treat for coming back to us. Now the second type of walk is our attention walk, and we have the two commands, let's go, signifying we're moving, and then easy as she starts to pull. And we're actually going to go out onto the road right now and show you that. So let's go. So when I do start this type of walk, I like them to sit and just kind of focus up on me. Hey, Millie. And this is one thing that we have spent a lot of time on as well, because she was pretty rough on the leash, loved to pull, and she was just focused on everything else. And so we spent a lot of time on this, and so I'll show you right now. Let's go. Let's go. So I do expect this J shape in the leash. And if she starts to pull, I'll just tell her, easy, and I expect her to stop. And then just real quick to show you some of these, come here. Sit. Stay. Okay, good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Quick. What? Stay. Okay, good girl. Okay. Good girl. Good girl. Like I said, if you do have any questions, hey, easy, let me know. Easy. Hey, sit. And Millie really has been just a wonderful dog. We've really loved training her. I don't know if it's the heat or what that she's so mellow right now. But I do love that she is in general a little bit more mellow, loves to just be around you and be pet. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Good girl.
Okay, let me give you the treat, and she's gonna do a down, down. Okay. Yeah, give her the treat. Good job. Here, ready for another one? Millie! Millie! Go to bed! Marley, you gonna give her the treat? Okay, Marley, I want you to throw these on the floor. Awesome. Another one. One more time. Okay, Millie. Sit. Stay. Marley, can you run to me super fast? Good. Sit. Stay. Okay. Throw those. Awesome. One more time. We'll do And then you go.